Arthur B. Reeve was born in Brooklyn, New York in 1880. He graduated from Princeton and attended New York Law School. He worked as an editor and journalist, wrote early silent film serial screenplays, and went on to create the Craig Kennedy crime fiction series. He turned to racket busting after 1928 and hosted a radio show from 1930 to 1931. His name appeared on 7 silent film serials between 1919 and 1920, 3 of which starred Harry Houdini. Professor Craig Kennedy is a scientist detective who teaches chemistry at Columbia University. He first appeared in Cosmopolitan magazine in 1910 in the story The Case of Helen Bond. Kennedy's partner is the newspaper reporter Walter Jameson, who acts as his Dr. Watson chronicler and foil. In the short story The Germ of Death, Kennedy is approached by several Russian revolutionaries living in New York. They want him to find out who is trying to kill them. The attacks started with some kind of poison or bacteria, then escalated to bomb lobbing. In his investigation, Kennedy finds the following handwritten letter. Many thanks for the copy of the paper by Professor Batelon of Dijon on the artificial fertilization of the eggs of frogs. I consider it a most important advance in the artificial generation of life. Kennedy identifies this as an early form of a written Nihilist cipher. If we look at the text, we can see that there are some odd breaks in the handwriting within the words, and the tails of the letters at the ends of the words can either point up or down. Counting the letters, we get 1, 2, 3 to the first break. This is followed by Y for 1, T for 1, H for 1, A for 1, and N for 1. These are all small numbers and point to a possible checkerboard cipher. The question is whether a legitimate word break is considered part of the letter counts or not. However, if we look at for the tail on the R points up, while the tail on the E points down. If we say tail up is connect the letters, we get 4 plus the, or 3 plus 3, for a count of 6, which is too big for a 5x5 checkerboard. If tail down is connect the letters, then the plus CO is 3 plus 2, giving us 5, which fits our square. Of course, we can test both cases and pick the best one, but I'm lazy, and I'll let a quick knee-jerk logical observation sway me right away. Later, if my assumption produces garbage, we can always come back here and try again. Counting off the letter blocks, we have 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 5, 5, 1, 3, 4, 4. In the block by prof, the Y seems to be down pointing, so that's okay. But we have to make a guess here that capital P doesn't have an up pointing tail, and is therefore connected to RO, giving us a total count of 5. This may be verified later when we start decrypting the message using the checkerboard square. Continuing, 5, 3, 1, 3, 1, 5, 1, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1, 2, 5, 4, 1, 4, 3, 3, 1, 5, 4, 2, 3, 3, 4, 3, 1, 2, 1, 5, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 1, 4, 4, 1, 5, 4, 1, 3, 3, 3, 1. This is your numbers station signing off for the evening. There are a few places where the letter tail directions are iffy, but let's keep going. Remembering what I said in the solution of the special case practice cipher in episode 11S, solving checkerboard ciphers, let's just do a frequency count on the pairs and compare our results with the unkeyed plain rows. Obviously, it's not a good match. . Next, let's try the unkeyed on-by-columns standard. Still not great. Let's try solving the cipher as plain rows anyway and see what that gets us. 32 is M, 11 is A, 15 is E, and 51 is V. Nope. Solving as plain columns with the same pairs. 32 is H, 11 is A, 15 is V, and 51 is E. Have. Let's keep going. S, Y, C, C, E, S, S, F, U, Q, N, V. Let's stop. The mistake of Y for U in successful could have been a simple transcription error when going from the checkerboard value of 54 to the letter blocks of 4 and 5 in the handwritten note. But Q and V is obviously wrong. We can argue that the first two words of our plain text should be have successfully. Going back to our message, the problem starts with A and TION. This is 1-4. Knowing that 1-3 is L, we might claim there should be a break between the O and the N. This turns the 4 into a 3 and gives us an extra 1. Inserting the new 1 into our previous text, we now have 1-3, 1-3, 3-1, and so on. Returning to our square, 1-3 is L, 1-3 is L, 3-1 is C. Okay, stopping again. To get successful D, we need 4-5. We have 3-1-5. So if the tail of the E in egg connected to the G, we'd be okay. But that switches the order of the following digits again. "45 is Y. I-N-O-F, psi. One of the attacks was either with poison or bacteria. If bacteria, then the message might be, have successfully inoculated. If this assumption is correct, then the next letter should be C. We have 1-2, but we need 3-1 this time. The tail on the T needs to point down to connect to IM. TIM is 3. P is 1. 3-1. But while we're here, we need to correct the last T of important too, to go from 5-1 to 5-4. Returning to our square, 3-1 is C, 5-4 is U, L, A, T, V, keep going, D, inoculated, more or less, and C. But the initial of the victim is given here as N, and in the story the target is Saratovsky, which should be 3-4, not 3-3. Going back to the note, point the tail of the F in of down, and erase everything after the L in life. Returning to the square again, let's make the last corrections to our digit pairs to fix the typos. 45 flips to 54 to give us the U in successfully. And 15 flips to 51 to give us the E in inoculated. Have successfully inoculated S. That's all of the note that Reeve gives us in the book. Craig Kennedy tells us that the full message he recovered is have successfully inoculated S with fever. And we're done with what we have available to us for this cipher. To wrap up, I'd just like to say that this form of the Nihilist cipher is really finicky. It's way too easy to make mistakes, and even one mistake can make the plaintext message unreadable. It would just be easier to stick with a pure digit pair form of checkerboard and hope that anyone checking your mail is fooled into thinking you're just playing a really big version of Sudoku. If you want to read the story yourself, the link is in the description below. That's it for now. See you at the next bookshop. Got questions, comments, or suggestions? Leave them in the comments below. Enjoyed this video? Then I encourage you to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. If you want to show further support, you can join us over at the Black Chamber Patreon page, where you can get access to more how-to videos and PDFs on solving the cipher types covered here, additional crypts to solve, and more. Links pinned in the comments below. See you at the next drop point.